Good afternoon, Mr. Farhod. We came from Webster University, and we have group project from our lecture. So we need to know about your companies and management series. So if you can share with your ideas.
With my experience, right?
Yeah.
Hi, welcome. Okay. Okay, great. Basically, I've been in management, in running my own company in the last 10 years, I would say. Prior to that, I've been in a management. I actually went to study in England since 2003. I was there, studied accounting and financial management, then moved to US. And that's where I got involved with the tech in IT sphere. And that's where I started kind of learning everything with the technology, studied in a data science. And then when I moved with my family to Texas, that's where I started getting involved with the IT startups, building up the small projects, building the companies, working with the large corporations. And that's how I started my journey. And since moving back to Uzbekistan, here again, I work in larger corporations, did a bit advising, and worked in large companies like OneFit, introduced to Uzbekistan market. And now in the past 2 years, we're building our own company, Deep Tech, where we build several startups inside the big corporation. As an incubator center, we help youth to develop their own projects and bringing up basically new IT startups to the markets.
Great, thank you so much for sharing your experience with us, and we have several questions for you. And can I start?
Yes. Yeah.
So my first question is that what is the most powerful side of your company, and something that you're proud?
You see, I think the most proud thing in my company, I think it's my team. We have a good blend. We have experience. We have people coming, from abroad, moving back to Uzbekistan. They're part of our team, and we have really, the ambitious youth, where we show, we share our experiences with them. And I think the strengths of my company is that our people. We have good blend of expertise with youth, people, youth who wants to gain that experience, who is ambitious and want to grow.
Oh, thank you. So the next question is connected with my first question. So I think that it's understandable that you have competitors in your projects, in your business. So what's the advantages of your company towards the competitors? Yeah.
My advantages, I think it's good to have competition. I think in our market, people might be worried about the competition, but I actually like it because that helps you improve your product, to work on your product, to deliver better quality to the market. So the first thing, I actually like the competition. And generally, there is several similar the companies, I would say, outsource companies, but they build the product for somebody else. Our advantage is where we build our own products here. We actually expertise in not just the building technology or IT products. We actually we know how to bring to the market, and every single one of our products have a different competitive advantage or go to the market to compete with other projects, for example. So the experience again, and plus we approach every product differently, where we like to talk to our customers. We're understanding the needs, and we actually build the products for our customers.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you so much for your answer. And after the strong sides, it's usually we talk about weak sides. So my next question is, can you tell about some difficulties inside your company?
Difficulties, I think it's a generally challenge for many companies, I think, in Uzbekistan, because we're growing fast. We, technology advancing really, really fast, and sometimes we struggle with finding right personnel or enough people to work in the projects. That's good. Sometimes we run too fast. So I think the challenges we're facing with hiring enough team members, we're trying to overcome with being a bit creative, like, growing our own team inside of the projects. And that's how we're trying to kind of rectify that. At the same time, challenges with still when we bring out the new products to the consumer base in Uzbekistan, still for some of the people, technology is something new. So we have to work with not just bringing out the product, but we'll also have to work with educating the people in Uzbekistan to understand the technology, how this technology makes their life better. And that's a kind of some of the challenges we face. But at the same time, we're building the team around it, where we actually teach people why they need it, why they need to use this product.
Okay, maybe it's some areas for improvement that you want to improve in your company according to these challenges, maybe.
Obviously, improvement, it's a constant improvement must happen, no matter how big you are, how successful you are. Constant improvement is actually, it's a good thing, it keeps you going. So in terms of improvements, I think we need to move with it. We do the constant training with the team. We actually teach them to be patient, to be, to know the market. It's kind of to talk to the customers more often to understand their problems, and so we can provide solutions for them.
Okay, and as you said in the beginning, you have several projects.
Yeah.
So I want to ask that maybe you have one a special project that you want to really improve.
Or
There
the
is-
main product.
The main product, I can't say one of my main products. I think right now we got really good going beyond that project. It's a product where to help parents and youth to discover the nearby locations for their self-development. It's like IT schools, English schools, creative centers, for example, sports centers. So it's basically in one platform. It provides the information for youth to grow, and they can leave the reviews, they can grow with that product. That's what we're working on right now. That's what we're trying to bring it to the market. It's actually having really, really good traction. It's getting more and more popular within, with our people around us. So that's kind of our main focus right now.
So it's the application, yes?
Yes, it's an app. Yeah.
Okay. And my last question is that can you tell some external factors that can harm your business? So yeah.
External factors, there is a lot. There is no such thing as a one external factor can harm. In the past, you would worry a lot about the business structures, other governmental sectors, changing the policies. However, nowadays it's really, really good, especially if you're in IT sector, you got lots of privileges. You have all the tools to be successful. Only things I would say, the competitors you could worry, but at the same time, if you do things right, you can avoid those external harms. So at this moment, I see as things, if we can control them, we can stay ahead of it.
Do you have some competitors which can cause difficulties for your company?
It's like, I don't see it can cause harm, because if you're doing your job right, if you're working hard, it's only you can control it as well. Obviously, yes, there is big players like who's advanced in the market, like Yandex, like Uzum, right? They have money, they have the data. So in some of our product aspects, they can cover it. Okay, but if we can find our niche, we can show the value to our users. That's where we can win. We can't just go compete directly with the big players, but if we can create that value for our niche market, understand our users, so we can be successful.
Thank you so much. That's it. Yeah.
Okay.
So now I have some questions for you. The first question is, what important decisions have you made in the past 6 months in your company?
In the just past 6 months, had to make a lot of different decisions, not just in the past 6 months, in the past a few years. If I would say one of the most kind of turning points for me was when, after working with OneFit here, we went to London to work, and when the project didn't go the way we planned, I needed to make decision either to stay in London to continue to work in the other projects, move to back over Malaysia, And that time I decided I had a good opportunity to work in the big companies. It was a good paying package, but I was for me turning point thinking like, okay, I can do some another IT startups and project in Uzbekistan. So when I had to come back and started my first project, deeper in the fitness industry, it was purely from zero again. If we look at that a year and a half, 2 years back, we started only 3 people. Now we have 60 plus people working. It's became a bigger company than just a startup. It's kind of one of my biggest decision was like to drop the projects in London and come back to Uzbekistan again.
So my next question is, do you use creative approach to solve the problems in your company?
I do in the certain times, like when we have to make some quick decisions. But my actually approach is I like to make the decision based on data, based on numbers, based on user feedbacks.
So you're researching all this?
Yeah, so research, why we need something, that's kind of things. And creative approach, we have the creative team where we look at the different solutions. It's depending on what circumstances are there.
So you think that researching is important in managing the company?
Absolutely, yeah. In anything you build, in anything you do, the first thing you do research. Even when you come up with a new idea, that product needed in the market. Can you build a team around it? You have to understand the capacity of your goals. Is that the right way to go to? Because if you don't do proper research, let's say we come up with a new idea, but it can be great in our heads, but if the people not there, if the people is not ready to pay money for it, it's an idea they're going to be useless.
So my last question is, can you give an example of unconventional solutions that worked in your company?
The unconventional solutions, I can't say like there is certain things, conventional, unconventional. In the startup world, you try everything. That's how you grow. That's how you learn quickly. Yes, in the big companies, when you have the already long-term structure, then depending on you can do unconventional solutions. But when we bring out new startups, when we build the new products, we try anything and everything. Let's say we try to bring the product to the market even when it's not ready. Give it to the people's hand. Try to use them, And then what we do, sometimes we bring our partners, our clients to our office. We sit down and do an hour customer discovery questionnaire. So we talk to them and say, understand how they're using the product, what they like about it, what they don't like about it. They tell us what they don't like about it, and we accept it. We're okay with it. End of the day, they're the customers. If they're saying something is no good, then we're gonna get same feedback from others. So if we get a good feedback, if we make that implementation, the only thing our product will become like stronger.
So at the end, we want to ask to give some advice for the people who want to start new projects, according to your experience.
In my, how I do. Let's say you have an idea. Mm-hmm. You got to understand if that product, what kind of problem is it solving? Mm-hmm. Is it solving certain problems? Is it going to be needed in the market? Get that understanding, and also find the mentors. Find the advisors in that specific field. Mm-hmm. Let's say if you, have an idea for a medical app, right? Get medical expertise. Go talk to the doctors. Go talk to the nurses. Understand if they need it. If you're building some product in let's say, in a fitness industry, go to talk to the fitness owners. Go to talk to those, trainers. If they need that product, would they use it, right? So any product you're building, you need to understand of the personnel as well.
Thank you so much, Mr. Farhod, for sharing your ideas, for giving some advice. That was amazing. So that's it.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yes, no problem. Anytime.
I appreciate
it.
Good afternoon. My name is Murza. I'm a student at the Webster University, and I have several questions for you. First of all, can you introduce yourself and what position do you have in this company?
Nice to meet you, Mirzo. My name is Asal, and hi everybody. I'm a project manager in deep tech company. Right now I run 2 projects, which are Yonda platform and EduNav ERP system. They are actually interrelated with each other.
Mm-hmm. As I find out, you are a manager. Can you explain management and leadership style about the company and the company structure?
The structure of the company is a classic structure, which means the top managers are in charge of the department, like in charge of their employees, and they.
And then my last question, how does a company ensure honesty and fairness work?
By actually tracking the performance of each employee, it actually can be seen. For example, when one employee works less or I don't know, makes some mistakes, we're not that strict, but when we notice it, we give some warnings, we teach them to fix their mistakes. We work on their mistakes. We do not just strictly tell them what to do or just fix it. We help them to approach this correctly.
Thank you for answer.
Thank
Nice
you
to meet you.
for your time.
So.